It's another edition of Off the Mic podcast. I am King Alex Oshot the first. Super delighted to see you guys again, and I appreciate you guys for every week watching us, seeing us, appreciating us, liking, subscribing, and all of that. Today again, there's a twist because we don't have the Ada of the podcast on set. Like I said, she traveled and will be back. But of course, I'm excited to have a friend in the studio who is a barrister of law. Let me put it at that a barrister of law, because they say barristers don't advertise themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, lawyers do not do advert. But of course, we're here to discuss a salient topic. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Ariole Kennedy Esquire.
Mhm.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much
much,
for
Mr. Alex. Yes, I
uh,
really appreciate you inviting me here today. Like you said, I'm Ariole Kennedy, barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And it's nice to be here with you today.
thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes, thank you.
I'm going to quickly delve into why we called you.
Yeah,
Um, I will create a scenario.
okay.
So, a lady and a guy met themselves maybe in a hotel or at the guy's house. Whatever happened in that room, we don't know. But the lady goes to the station, reports a rape case. This case gets to court, and the guy was jailed 15 years. 4, 5, 6 years down the line, the lady comes back to say she's now born again and she wants to confess. So she's saying she lied.
Yeah.
Do you think that the lady should be given the same number of years that the guy was sentenced to when the guy is released, or should just be let go like that? Because in most cases, we have seen a few cases, that's why this topic came up. They just let the ladies go and just release the men who have wasted maybe 5, 10, 40, 45 years of their lives in jail for a crime they never committed.
Yeah, oh, very serious topic. I mean, every time rape comes up, it is
Oh yeah, it's a
sensitive, it
sensitive
is
topic. Yeah.
emotional, it is something we need to be very careful about. So, on the part of letting the guy go just like that, I think it's a culture of Nigerians to shy away from the justice system. And whilst we may argue that it may be thing of poverty that they don't pursue justice, it has become a culture, a norm. Because when someone falsely accuses you in that way, there should be a comeback when it has now been proven that this rape allegation was just, intentionally malicious. Do you understand? So, I mean, when they don't go to prosecution of such rape incident or rape allegation that was now shown to be malicious or false, it's a problem, and it's something that is recurrent in Nigerian justice system anyways. So as to the question of whether or not this kind of person should now be prosecuted and be issued with the same level of punishment that was given to the guy, I would say to some extent, yes. But it's important to also strike the balance. Do you understand? It's important to strike the balance because, I mean, rape incidents are unique. There's no like pre-informed format for rape. So, whilst this kind of person in the incident you painted, or the scenario you painted, had come to now by themselves say, "Oh, I maliciously said so, and I'm sorry, and these facts were wrong." There are some times that people don't just. It is not the case. Sometimes it is the fact that, oh, the rape allegations were not totally proven correctly, or there's no evidence towards getting incarceration of the accused, and people now say, oh, it was just malicious. So we have to be careful to be educating the public on the balance. Whilst I think in an incident like this where someone has come to say, okay,
I was going there.
I
I
lied.
lied. Yeah.
Yes, I lied. I think yes, the person should get as much punishment as was
Given.
intended or was meted to the other person by
Exactly.
her intentional malicious accusation. And I mean, the law has provisions for this, several provisions.
Yeah,
You
but
can bring it under perjury under the criminal code, and the law provides for at least 14 years for perjury when you lie under oath. Because in this case, you now said they have gone to court, they've gone through full criminal trial. So
jailed the
what?
person. So
Yes, whatever evidence she had given, she had led in court, and she's now saying is a lie, put her up for perjury, and which is 14 years. And in many cases, the criminal code also directs that the in the effect of the lie, the effect of the misrepresented facts should now carry the same legal consequences that such such a person,
the
the
accused.
accused, has suffered. For example, where it is rape and you have given led facts and evidence to show that someone raped you, now you are saying is a lie. And imagine that in this scenario, the person was imprisoned for life
Mm.
imprisonment, which is the actual punishment that is provided on the under the criminal code. You know, then at that point, the lie can now they can now bring in perjury, and the person will be liable for life imprisonment, just like so.
Okay.
So the law has ample provisions for protecting people like that.
As much as you say this, that the law has that provision, we've heard of several cases where such people go scot free.
Yeah.
So are we saying that the justice system is not fulfilling its responsibility?
Okay, so I think the legislative arm of government has done a fine job to have a robust criminal system, right? Has a robust justice system, in quote. But like I mentioned earlier, there's a culture of people or Nigerians looking at the justice system as an instrument of an instrument of oppression, even to themselves, rather than them thinking it protects them. So many times you see someone that has been let off the hook like this run away from the justice system. They don't want to have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Whilst in other jurisdictions like America, in Canada, you see something like this is a person is looking towards getting a fact check,
Okay.
from the government, from the
Yes.
person that
Yes.
accused you
Yes.
and all that. So I mean, yes.
Abroad, I know they give as much as $1 million, $2 million to some of those victims. You understand? But I haven't heard of anyone in Nigeria who was compensated for such situation. That aside, the story we read that brought about us having this conversation is
Yeah.
about a lady who was married to a guy. Now they've been having issues in their marriage,
All right.
and they were at that point where they were, planning their or pursuing their divorce
Divorce.
process,
Yeah.
and she was not interested in having anything sexual with the husband anymore.
Okay.
But by law, because they haven't divorced, the guy assumes that as long as I paid every bride price and I
Yeah.
did, you are still my wife, and he forced himself on her,
All right.
and she took the case to court claiming rape. You understand?
Okay.
And that led to the guy's incarceration.
Incarceration. Okay. So I'm wondering if that actually happened, right? Because somehow when you now agree to get married to a person, the proper rights have been done, exchange of bride price and everything, that constitutes some level of consent
Consent.
to sexual activities, right? So perhaps maybe such person can bring their complaints under every other thing but rape. Do you understand? And there are some ways too that marital rape too can be construed. But I mean, yeah, is a you it is a, how do I
Obviously, they
put it?
got
It's
violent.
usually
Obviously, they got
unique.
violent.
Yeah.
They got violent
All right.
when he was trying to have his way, and she was
Into
saying no, and he got angry. Violence came into the matter that led to him being locked up. You understand?
yeah.
So what I mean, the full story isn't out yet, but the thing is, um, could it be that they incarcerated him because of the violence, or could it be because he forced himself on her?
So to be honest, like I can't say to that matter because I don't have the facts
Facts,
before me.
yes.
Because there will be, and obviously when you hear of judgments like that, you want to read about the ratio, the reason for such judgment and all. So whilst I don't have that, I can't
You
speak
can't
to
say, yeah,
the
but I'm
yes,
saying, I haven't heard this story now
yeah.
from this rape and violence, which would be ideal for incarceration.
For violence, obviously violence, because rape in marriages is usually another sensitive realm to delve into, right? Because rape would be the absence of consent. Do you understand? According to section 357 of the criminal code of Nigeria, right? Rape would be the that there was no consent, right? So you being married to this person has some way just giving them consent to actually have access to you.
To you.
You understand?
Anyway, since we already have the fact now that we can't tell whether it's the rape or what else did I mention again? Violence that
Violence.
led to this thing. So let's
Yeah.
just let that slide. Now let's talk about divorce.
Okay.
I sat with a lawyer friend of mine some time ago, and we just decided to hang out. A couple of friends. This was in Bagada,
Yeah.
and we hadn't seen ourselves for a while. So everybody just called, let's hang out. We're drinking, and he just told us. He said, "Guys, he's tired of what is going on in Nigeria right now." We're like, "What's up?" He said, "When we finish, we should follow him to his car." So
All
when
right.
we're all done, he opened his trunk. He had a pile of cases, and he said, 70% of the cases he's handling right now, divorce cases. Young couples, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and he's wondering, what is the problem? You understand? So
Yeah.
you being a lawyer, I'd like to find out. I mean, are you of the same school of thought that the divorce rate has risen so scary,
Yeah.
and share a few examples of what you think could be the problem?
Yeah. Oh, obviously. I mean, there's serious rise in the rate of divorce in marriages in Nigeria. There's also a decline in having successful marriages around town, right? And there are several pointers, there are several problems that could be causing them. Number one, I also believe that divorce has always been a thing right from time, but there's now social media to also amplify it,
Amplify it.
right? So I mean, number one, the society, the economy is terrible. People are facing real hardship. So, I mean, if you're not okay personally, do you now fend for someone else? How do you now show
And then, do you
that
get
extra
married?
love to someone else? I mean, that's one thing about our society here. It's not one that get on, you get yourself going and you stay like that. It's usually not promised. Do you understand? So sometimes there are people that have done well for themselves economically. I can now take care of a family of two, three. I can now take care of my wife.
Then all of a sudden,
Food. Then you know. There's also a decline in mental health situation around town. So if you look at it, people are people have mental health challenges and they are not aware of it. So these things are causing society to dwindle, societal interaction. And obviously, one of the blocks it will hit strongly is family. And by that, marriage in itself. Do you
do you
understand? So
don't you
there's a breakdown, sort of.
don't you think that the expectation of spouses
All right.
towards another have become 20 or 20, 50 times what it used to be, and that may be the reason for the increase in this rate? Because
So
I've seen a few, all these things they post on social media.
yeah,
What kind of man do you want? And you hear some people say some very unrealistic things.
thing.
You
Yeah.
get, and if you go into marriage with that kind of mentality, in no time you're out of that marriage.
So true.
My opinion, though.
That's another angle to it, right? That's another angle to it. I was discussing with a friend today, this morning, and I was saying I avoid comment section conversations. Nigerians are now plagued with having to reason in accordance to public opinion, public court of law, comment sections. Do you understand? You try to have a conversation around some particular topic with five people and they're saying exactly the same thing. They are agreeing the same way, and that's not how the human mind would usually function. Everybody should have an angle to whatever they're saying. So now this has implication on us, as a people. It means we will now want to have a how do I put it? We want to have a flat expectation of certain things, including marriage. Social media too has done a sin by, everybody now wants to have the kind of life, the kind of marriage, the
That
kind of
Mr. A
husband,
has.
the kind of wife that this other person has. And I mean, they are just not staying true to reality. Sad, but it would be their problem if you can't understand that we all can't have it the same way. They're different because we are different people. We handle things differently. We also have different realities, financial reality, social and economic reality. So I mean, it should be different, but I know people do not understand that. And I wish people understood like the ills of what the social media perspective can do to you. You should be there for the right reasons, learn what you can learn, take what you can take out, and stay positive around there, and follow positive people too. Do you
Very key.
understand? Not people that which is what I mean. People post the best
Part of themselves.
angles of themselves, really.
And nobody
The
wants to post
nobody,
failure.
yeah. So if you now think that a 2 minutes video
Would
should
determine.
sum up what life should be for you, then it's a problem. It's a problem. So yeah, it would be one of the angles that have disturbed, marriages. High expectation, especially when you know that you are not bringing so much to the table either.
Another thing again,
Yeah.
I see happening is parental and family intrusion into marriages being part of what destroys a lot of marriages. Do you
Okay.
think? Have you ever been in a situation to handle such case where, I mean, it was the family that
Oh,
destroyed it? Because I mean,
destroyed
I
the
know a few. I
marriage.
know a few.
So I'd really blame the partners in the marriage if that ever happened, right?
Why the
I Number
partners?
one, I want to also remind you that we're Africans, right? And we do things communally, including marriage.
Everything.
In fact, our essence of marriage is that you exchange bride price, and not between this
Bring
partner,
families
between
together.
the families. They bring family. So I mean, you want to also try to limit the influence of these in a modern marriage, anyways. Whilst we understand that family can be good, family can help us, sometimes now, just like people, parents get busy, you even have your mother or mother-in-law taking care of the children, helping you around house chores and stuff like that. Why communal people, anyways. But you want to limit the fact that a parent that's obviously in another generation, because I mean, there's been this generational shift. We're different now.
Completely
We're
different.
different now, and they have their own sensibilities from their own generation. So, and many times they want to, from a good place, even offer advice, offer guidance, and also you want to even manage the guidance, especially when it doesn't go well with, with a pinch of salt. You want to do better. And I think apart from just blaming family, people should actually read about these things. People should be intentional about learning about, number one, communication, managing relationships before you go even deeply to marriage. People should be intentional about these things, not just blaming society, blaming family. Because I think many times it's from a good place. These people, your family wants to protect you usually many times, but it doesn't come out as that in the end on
Mm,
some other times. Yeah. So yes, people should just read, get all the knowledge they can get on or around marriage and how to build a home, how to maintain relationships at large. And I think they will fare better.
mm. I want to put you on the hot seat right
All right.
now.
Mhm.
Okay. I have been at several times in court with
Okay.
um, a few people who had, divorce cases running, and I just wanted to see what it looked like, when it comes to a divorce
Proceeding.
proceeding. And it looks like when the judge presiding that case
Yeah.
is a lady,
Okay.
there's always that tilt towards the lady in
Emotional
a
bias.
emotional bias.
Okay.
You get.
Yeah.
Do you think that is fair enough? Because I'm told that the justice system has nothing to do with emotions. But why are we now playing down in when it comes to that gender?
I mean, to be honest, it's not. I doubt it's standard across board, right? Because I mean, the essence of justice. If you look at Lady
If you ask a
Justicia,
lot of guys who
yeah.
have been through it sincerely, who found themselves in front of female judges, oh my, they had it
So
tough, even
some,
if they were not the problem.
yeah.
I don't believe that. Sorry for cutting you. I don't believe that there's a guy that won't have a hand in the separation. You
Yes.
must have your fault, and your partner would have her fault. But I'm saying in a situation where the fault was more from the lady, it will still favor the lady more than the guy.
So by favor, I'm wondering what you mean. I mean, if these things are based on facts that you present to the court, and what do you bring a divorce on, a divorce proceeding on, that the marriage has broken down
Eh,
irretrievably? So if the marriage has broken down irretrievably, who wins? There's no party that's winning. It's not favoring the guy or the lady.
And well, we talk about property.
Okay.
We talk about property. We talk about a custody of the children and all of that.
Okay. So I mean, it's not about, let's go to custody first. About custody is not a matter of a guy or a woman one. It's about the needs of the children. They are the central and focal point of the judgment. It is in their best interest usually. So in the matter of separation, in the matter of property as regards separation, I mean, we're seeing two people that have probably built wanting to separate. So it's not because of what you did that anybody gets anything, right? It is your input in the marriage.
Hmm.
It is your input to the marriage, to the union, that the court says, okay, we have this land worth 10 million naira, and oh, the man brought so amount, the woman brought this. Then they look into there are several sharing formulas that the law uses and all. But most importantly, where you now see that, oh, this judgment was favorable to one party as against the
The
others,
other.
the other one, on the facts of the case that were presented, you can always appeal. There's always an avenue to seek redress. So, whilst I don't think at large we're still in the place where divorce favors one person or the other because the law is blind to emotions, right? I feel that when Nigerians or people feel like a judgment is not favorable or consistent with the fact of the case, then they can seek redress, right? And probably look for a male judge if you
Oh,
think
so
that
you
would
mean
help
I
your
can
case.
request for a male judge?
So whilst you may not be able to request for a male judge, but I mean, you
Case.
can get you, your findings or your, how do I put it now?
Anyway, so your final word to the general public when it comes to what we've discussed. We've discussed false allegations. We've
Yeah,
discussed the high rise in divorce rate,
divorce.
and
Yeah,
of course, and family intrusion and all of that. Your
yeah.
final word to the people. Now you have your camera in front of you.
Okay. Thank you. In the matter of rape, right? And I understand the very loud cries here and there. Say, okay, someone has falsely accused you or has laid false allegations. I believe the law should be very sensitive in, striking that balance between punishing someone that falsely accuses someone of rape and being careful not to deter actual rape victims from coming out to tell their truth. So if we want to strongly, continue publicly pushing for, punishment in one way or the other, we are trying to put these people, actual survivors of rape, in a gunpoint, right?
They won't come
So
out.
yes, they won't come out. It may deter them. So the law is sensitive about these things naturally and has created stratas of stratas or levels of protection for everybody. For example, you can look towards defamation, civil suit. You can look towards malicious prosecution, in criminal this thing. So there are several ways you can bring a matter on charges on perjury on someone that has clearly shown that the alleged facts brought are false or are malicious, right? So yes, I think the law should just be looking towards striking the balance always, and maybe we can now look into some level of protection for social media uh, litigation, or how do I put it, bringing such rape case, like, to the general public.
General public without,
Yes, we want to be a bit careful, and even at the point where investigations have not thoroughly gone down, such things should be maybe a bit more private, so that you don't ruin the reputation of an innocent man. You understand? So I mean, we can look into laws that really protect people, because many times the damages are irreparable.
Mm.
The damages are so we want to, look towards protecting them. Yeah. And then in the matter of divorce, I think for me, I believe that in where relationships don't go as we planned, when the what you are here for is no longer panning out, I think you should take a
Go your
fine
separate.
walk. Take a fine walk, right? So
You
people should be,
sugarcoated it now. It's called a fine walk.
yes. So people should be more intentional about and look at the,
Brighter side.
no, I think before getting married, people should look at the long term. Be serious about the institution of marriage, more
Before
like,
even going into it.
yes, be
Yes. Yes.
serious and actually read, get so much information that you can. Do you understand? Before you go into it, not just jump into it and at
Jump
some
out.
point, yes, look look at the future and look at ask the rightest questions if there's anything like that. Do you understand? Focus on the right questions, not just his financial standing. Know
And
who
looks.
you are, what, and work with him. Do you understand? And I feel like society would be a better place, if you ask me.
Thank you so much. It's been a
Yes, sir.
wonderful time,
Mm.
Barrister Ariole Kennedy Esquire. Thank you so much for
Yes,
joining
you're
us.
welcome.
Um, you heard him, ladies and gentlemen. He said, look before you leap when it comes to marriage. You don't just jump in it and jump out. If you rush in, you rush out. My name still remains Alex Osho. It has been a wonderful time, and it's still Off the Mic podcast. Till I see you again, adios, amigos. The road is rough and tough, and I can't see anymore beauty that exists.